Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started.
Today we're dissecting a story that really uses horror to ask some big questions about the cost of safety.
We are jumping into I'll Make a Spectacle of You by Beatrice Winifred Iker.
Yeah, and the setting is just incredible. It's deep in the mountains of Tennessee, and it creates this amazing collision of, Southern Gothic atmosphere and the intellectual vibe of dark academia.
It's such a deliberate mashup. You have Bricksbury Mountain College, a prestigious HBCU in Jonesboro, but the author isn't just, using the campus for jump scare.
No, not at all. The setting is the argument.
Exactly. Bricksbury is sold as the safest campus in the country for Black students and intellectuals. It's supposed to be this fortress.
And that reputation is the hook, right? I mean, in American history, a safe haven for Black students sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But Iker immediately gives you this feeling of, claustrophobia.
Right. The danger isn't what's trying to get in. It's about the price the students are already paying to stay inside.
It's a terrifying question. If you're completely safe, are you actually free?
And our guide through all this is Zora Robinson. I think she's a fantastic protagonist because she embodies all that friction.
Totally. She's a historian. She's a hoodoo practitioner.
And she's messy. She's carrying all this trauma, and she just shows up at Bricksbury for her master's degree completely at odds with the school's, polished image.
Specifically, she's at odds with her sister Jasmine. And that relationship is the emotional core of the whole book.
Okay, so Jasmine is already at Bricksbury, but she's on the other side of this whole divide.
Completely. She's a biblical studies professor. She's respectable, married to a woman named Gozi. If Zora is all about that messy folk magic and hidden history, Jasmine is like the perfect institutional figure.
And the tension between them is just, you feel it immediately, but it all comes from this shared trauma from when they were kids.
We have to talk about the incident in the woods.
Yeah, this isn't just sisters growing apart. This was something that tore them apart.
Right. So as kids, they were trespassing, and they stumble onto some kind of ritual. They hear chanting weird words like goddess and balefire.
And then in that moment of just pure terror, Jasmine screams at Zora to run.
And Zora does. She runs, and she leaves Jasmine behind.
That guilt is everything for Zora's character. So when she gets to Bricksbury, she finds Jasmine just pretending she doesn't exist. It's a total wall of silence.
But Zora isn't just there for her sister. She's there to work on her thesis.
Which is on the spiritual history of Appalachia.
And we should probably pause on Appalachia. It's such a vital concept for the book. It's about the history and culture of African Americans in the Appalachian region.
It pushes back against the stereotype that Appalachia is just, white.
Exactly. And Zora's research puts her directly in the path of Dr. Maurice Grant.
Ah, Dr. Grant, the department head. He's so charming, so established, almost paternal. He seems like the perfect mentor.
He seems like it.
Yeah.
And he validates her interest in the school's darker history.
He validates it, but he also steers it. He nudges her towards the story of a librarian named Esther Fisherman who went missing in the 1920s.
And he even gives Zora her diary, which he says he borrowed from the rare books room.
Which is a huge red flag. But Zora dives in, and reading those entries is when the story shifts from, a campus mystery to just pure dread.
Esther is basically a mirror for Zora. Back in the 1920s, she was noticing the same things. Students vanishing, a secret group of men guarding the woods.
And through Esther's diary, we get the founding myth of the college. This is where the whole idea of a safe haven just gets ripped apart.
It's such a dark twist on it. So the founders, Emmaus and Hosanna Crawford, made a pact back in the 1800s. And their motive was understandable, They wanted to protect the school from the KKK.
They were desperate, and desperation leads to bad deals.
A very bad deal. They reach out for protection, but what answers isn't? Well, that's not the God they were expecting. It's this older, bloodier entity.
And it demands a life for a life. To keep the school safe, a sacrifice is required.
And it escalates so fast. At first it was animals, foxes with amber eyes, but that wasn't enough.
So Amos makes this ultimate utilitarian choice.
He sacrifices his own sister, Hosanna, in the campus church.
And the details are just chilling. She doesn't just die, she's transformed.
She becomes the beast.
Yeah.
This supernatural guardian that prowls the woods. It protects the school, yeah, but it has to be fed.
It's literally the idea of an institution being built on the suffering of a Black woman. The protector is a monster that eats the students it's supposed to save.
It's a heavy metaphor. And while Zora's digging up this history, her presence starts getting weird.
Super weird. She starts having these sensory hallucinations, smelling rotting honeysuckle, seeing flashes of orange fire.
which are the signatures of the beast. Her conjure abilities make her sensitive to it.
But the book does a great job of balancing that dread with, her just trying to live. She meets Khadija.
Her neighbor who plays the banjo and works at a local conjure shop.
Their romance is so charming, which honestly, it just makes the rest of it feel even worse. It gives Zora something to lose.
While she's falling for Khadija, she starts noticing this group on campus, the Keepers of the Beast.
They're full-on cult. They were orange, do these weird contortionist movements.
And then comes the big reveal. It's not just that the cult exists.
It's that Jasmine is in it.
Zora sees her sister at a conjure night event wearing their protective jewelry. And suddenly, Jasmine's cultness makes a whole different kind of sense. She's part of the machine that feeds the monster.
And then a student, Tony Anderson, goes missing. The campus locks down. That safety just becomes a prison.
There's that scene at Homecoming where Khadija's friend Emmanuel gets possessed or something and grabs Zora, warning her, "Don't go into the woods, child."
A classic warning, but you know she has to go into the woods.
Of course. And the narrative forces her. She's kidnapped from a party and dumped in the forest.
But she's smart. She has a spy pen hidden in her braids. I loved that detail.
So modern. And she records the cult talking about sacrifices. When she confronts Jasmine, her sister doesn't even deny it. She defends it.
She argues it's a necessary evil, that sacrificing a few students keeps the whole school safe from the outside world.
It's that core ethical debate. Jasmine believes in the lesser of two evils, but Zora just can't accept that. She thinks she can fix it.
So she takes her evidence to Dr. Grant, believing he's the one good authority figure who can stop it all.
Which leads to the twist that just flips the entire story on its head.
Yeah, Zora thinks Dr. Grant is maybe the cult leader or just corrupt, but it's so much worse than that.
Dr. Grant is Ammias Crawford,
The original founder. He's immortal. He's been alive since the 1800s, feeding generations of students to his own sister to maintain his school.
He didn't just manipulate Zora. He did the same thing to Esther Fisherman. He even claims he loved Esther, but still sacrificed her. He's the architect of all of it.
And Zora figures this out at the absolute worst moment when she realizes Khadija is the next target.
It stops being about history and becomes desperately immediate. She rushes to the church to save her,
But it's a trap, and that church scene is just pure visceral horror.
Ammias summons the beast. We finally see Hosanna, and she's terrifying. Ink-stained skin, burning eyes, and the book just... it doesn't pull the punch.
No, it doesn't. Zora fails. The beast kills Khadija right in front of her.
It's brutal. You expect the last-minute rescue, but it doesn't happen. It proves the whole system is a lie. It destroys the very things that make life worth living.
Zora is just broken. But that grief turns into this cold, hard rage.
And Jasmine fuels that rage. She reveals that she has now marked herself as the next sacrifice.
She's trying to be a martyr. She thinks if she offers herself up, it will buy the school another 50 years of peace. You can already see her skin getting papery and bruised.
But Zora refuses to let that happen. She's already lost Khadija. She is not losing her sister, too.
So she goes back to the library, because knowledge is her weapon. And she finds this forbidden book, The Living Crypt.
And she finds a loophole. The mark of the sacrifice. It can be transferred.
This is her moment. It's how she redeems herself for running away in the woods all those years ago.
She drugs Jasmine with tea, lovingly, and performs a ritual to move the death mark onto her own skin. She takes the burden.
And then she walks into the woods to face Ammias. The final confrontation is so satisfying because she just strips away all his lies. She tells him she knows the truth. The beast doesn't care about his goals. It's just hungry.
And Ammias is actually horrified. He likes Zora. He saw her as a successor. He never wanted her to die. But he's lost control of the monster he created.
When the beast appears, it just ignores Ammias and goes straight for Zora.
And that final image is just, it's seared into my brain. Zora doesn't run. She doesn't scream. She just stares right into the beast's eyes.
She accepts her choice. She chose to break the cycle.
It's an ambiguous ending. We assume she's consumed, but it feels like a victory.
Yeah.
She destroyed Ammias' control. She saved her sister.
She proved that safety built on sacrifice isn't safety at all. It's just another kind of prison. Zora broke the lock, even if it cost her everything.
It really forces you to look at the institutions we all trust and ask, what's the hidden cost here? Who is paying for my stability?
A chilling thought to leave us with. That's all for this deep dive into I'll Make a Spectacle of You.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.